In this video, I'd like to explain the relationship between the Sun and the Moon. I will go through the rulerships briefly and then make reference to their manifestations. The Sun has rulership over the ruling class, heads of state, politicians, government officials, leaders, the nobility, authority, supremacy. It also rules over famous people, film stars, actors, artists, musicians, sports champions, entertainers, willpower, vitality, spirit, the ego, the father, and gold. The Moon has rulership over the civilians, the common people, domestics, family, home, the environment, food purveyors, nourishment, sensuality, dreams, the subconscious, bodily functions, habits, the land, the water, the mother, and silver. There is an obvious social dynamic of the Sun being the rulers of society and the Moon being the general public. The relation between the conscious and the subconscious, willpower and habitual nature. The government is the mind that controls the body of people. The conscious effort of authority to overpower the masses. The rich and powerful keep the upper hand. The Sun is the hero that conquers the monstrous nighttime. In the day, the Sun bullies the Moon and other stars out of the sky. Only at night time, the Moon can dominate, and not always, as there are moonless nights. She is forever changing compared to the reliable Sun of the daytime. The ruling elite use the solar force of the music industry, sports and entertainment, TV, Hollywood movies, celebrity culture, glamorized in the media, putting a dreamy spell on the common people. The majority are in a mass delusion. To break out of this subconscious prison, the individual must consciously awaken from their sleep to find their own solar force within themselves. This is the soul journey we are all on. Even those royal rulers on top of the hierarchical pyramid of power, even they must awaken their consciousness to break lunar subconscious habits and free themselves from the illusion. Most conscious individuals within the public are aware of the fact that the ruling class and celebrities are under a hypnotic subconscious spell of their own, be it for the monthly moony money they sell their souls for is just the half of it. Fame and fortune comes at a higher price than that. They have sold their souls into enslavement. They are dictated to and played like puppets, unwillingly, to think for themselves. Who is more free, us or them? The MK Ultra program have made an army of walking dead who recruit new zombie troops through the TV and movies, video games, and radio shows. How the hierarchy of the conscious dominate the unconscious. It's an internal battle we fight every day and night to save your solar soul from the materialistic moon. This is the soul's journey to self-realization in this life or the next. We battle to conquer subconscious forces, wanting to dominate our willpower. The symbolism of Mithras or George and the dragon are represented in the zodiacal signs of Aries and Taurus, who hold the exaltations of both the sun and the moon. Aries being the arising spiritual sun, and Taurus being the physicality of the moon. On the 23rd of April, between the two signs, is St. George's Day, the day the Order of the Garter, a royal knighthood, meet up at Windsor Castle every year to have their ritualistic meetings in St. George's Chapel. The idea of the solar ruling class have superiority over the lunar masses who come in crowds to celebrate their ceremony, emotionally clapping and cheering, and honor the procession of royals, nobles, and prominent politicians. I question, is it a thing of blood? Are the solar hierarchy genetically superior in comparison to the common folk they suppress? As if the ruling class might not even be that human after all, which is backed up by biblical books. Does it really matter how true this may be? The fact of the minority of the ruling solar classes dominating the majority of the lunar working classes have always been this way throughout Earth's history. How do we break out of unhealthy dynamics of this relationship is the more relevant question. As we look back at history, religion and politics and entertainment are tools used for mind control. In most recent times, TV and other similar tech has programmed the subconscious of the common people. But now technology has become much more advanced. There are creations such as the V2K, voice-to-skull technique, and biowarfare, where synthetic lifeforms can enter the brain and create false memories encoded into the man-made bacterias, which infect unsuspecting individuals. The injections of the synthetic DNA, which is submissively administered as a cure for viral infection, that can alter the biology of the brain and body. Inevitably, these technologies, which would be commercially bought like the Neuralink project by Tesla, or more indirectly by the military, is promoting the hive mind mental state for the masses, so the elite can physically control the mind. This concept is the solar-lunar dynamic, as the sun is the individual's unique spirit, life essence, compared to the lunar collective and the physical body. To have the elite's efforts to program a hive mind into the masses will put to test what strength an individual has over the unconscious influences from the world around us. Weak-willed people can lose their minds to influences beyond themselves. Mind over matter, or spirit over materialism, has always been the test of being born into this world, represented by the first two zodiacal signs, Aries and Taurus. The sacrificial lamb into the material world of limitations. We are all here to experience limitation in order for spiritual growth. The new technology is again another test of this mind over matter principle. Who are you? Have you become lost in materialism? What is self-expression and uniqueness unless it is consciously observed, you are asleep, unconscious, and lost. There are many lost in this world. Did it ever really matter to never awaken your full potential? It may all make sense when we are released from this physical existence and go back to spirit. Again, I question, what are we here for? Self-exploration needs the opposite to know what it is. We are all on a journey of self-discovery, and to break away from limitations, a constant process of growing out of those lunar habits to find the solar individual spirit of who you sincerely are, beyond all of the predictive programming